And this mindset doesn't work. The mindset of, I have to kind of see it to believe it, or I don't have any control over the opportunities. They just kind of happen. But this mindset doesn't work because the word manifestation means to believe in an idea and then to turn that idea into a reality. What will work is building the skill of intentionally manifesting opportunities. Welcome to the Chingona Revolution podcast, where we will bring out your inner badass Latina, overcome self-doubt, help you gain clarity, and pave your own path, all while leading with courage. I am your host, Latina coach and speaker, Erika Cruz. Hello. Welcome back to this week's episode of Chingona Revolution podcast. This is your host, Erika Cruz, and for today's episode, I am sharing the recording of the Magnetic CEO Method training that I hosted yesterday. And this training is all about supporting you in manifesting opportunities using neuroscience principles as well as manifestation principles. So if you are an entrepreneur or a creator and you've been looking for more opportunities, whether those are clients or speaking engagements, podcast invites, connections, collaborations, then this is the podcast episode for you. If you are not a business owner or not a creator, but maybe you're aspiring, or maybe you're just looking to manifest anything in your life, this training will still be relevant to you. The magnetic method is something that you can apply to business or to your life. So if you are looking to manifest something, I think you'll really enjoy the mindset shift that I talk about, as well as the 3 strategies. And then for those of you who are entrepreneurs and creators, if you are looking for support, the doors for Magnetic Mastermind are now open. Inside of Magnetic Mastermind is where I teach you the complete process for the magnetic method and how you can attract opportunities to come to you. So give this episode a listen. You can schedule a call with me down below. The link is in the show notes. But just so you know, the doors are closing soon. They close on Wednesday, the 23rd. I also, at the time of release, have a bonus going on. The bonus will be good through tomorrow, which is Wednesday, September 17th. So that 48-hour bonus is a content day with me. So if you book a call before tomorrow and then end up joining the program, then I will give you a content day with me where I will support you in creating magnetic content so that you can attract opportunities to you. Okay, with that being said, let's get into the webinar. Welcome to the Magnetic CEO Method. Today we're talking about how to use manifestation and neuroscience to 3 times your opportunities without 3 times the effort. This webinar and training is sponsored by Magnetic Mastermind. So at the end of the training session, I will tell you more about the program, but I will be sure to tell you when we get there. So you'll clearly know when the training portion is done and when we begin talking about Magnetic Mastermind. All right, so by the end of this webinar, by the end of this training, you are going to learn how to attract ideal opportunities and clients in an easy way without feeling like you are chasing, controlling, and hustling. So I'm going to go over what strategy does not work. So what many people do try to do to land more opportunities, as well as share some of my own mistakes because I know they don't work because I've tried them. And then I'm also going to share what strategies do work. You will learn how manifestation is something that you can actually learn. And it's not just for those people who are lucky. It's not just, oh yeah, this person is lucky and that's why they manifest. So here's where we're going. I'm going to go over, if you're in the right place, we're going to go over just a description of your characteristics. We're going over what it is that you want, the mistakes you're currently making, what does work, and then how to implement the 3 strategies that help you accomplish what works. Then I'm going to go into Magnetic Mastermind, and then I'm going to go into a Q&A. So if you stay till the end to the Q&A, I do have a guided visualization for generating abundance that I will share with you. So that is a little incentive to keep you around. I'm also going to share the recording. So if you do, for some reason, need to drop off, just know that the recording will be sent to you all via email. Okay, let's go over who you are. So you are either an entrepreneur or a creator. So if you're on Zoom, let me know. Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a creator? Are you aspiring? What is your current situation? Or if you're on Instagram, let me know on Instagram Live. You know that you were meant to land amazing opportunities or maybe be booked out, but you're not sure exactly how to do that. You know that you are purpose driven. So you do want to make money, but you also really care about making an impact. You believe in manifestation, but you're not sure how to make it work for you. And you wonder why so many people land opportunities, but it seems to be hard for you. And you don't want to compare yourself to other people, but you're wondering, what in the world am I doing wrong here? So, what you want is opportunities. Okay. And opportunities are clients, speaking engagements, podcast interviews, Instagram lives, brand deals, TV appearances, consult calls. I mean, depending on what industry you're in, this can mean many different things, right? So it could be just letting a few more people in. Let's say that you're in the real estate industry. It could be people reaching out to you to list their home. Or if you are, somebody just said their reflexology, that could be clients, right? Or that could be an opportunity to collaborate with somebody about like maybe, I don't know, working with somebody else who has a business and creating a combined package. Like, okay, let's sell X amount of packages. They include 2 of my reflexology sessions, but finding these aligned opportunities that support your growth and your impact. So it's not just about finances, right? It's also about making an impact. So you want to open your inbox and you want to see an invitation to be on a podcast. You want to see an invitation to be a guest speaker. You want to see an invite to collaborate with your favorite brand or creator. You want to see a sales call booked or maybe a client that just paid in full. You want your inbox to look a little like this: speaking opportunity, paid campaign opportunity with Western Union, speaker collab request form. Let's see, collaboration officer. I'm sorry, offer officer. Don't know where that came from. Collaboration offer. And then other opportunities coming your way. So you also want to open your DMs and you want to see messages from aligned clients, right? And maybe these are DMs on Instagram, it could be LinkedIn, it could be any platform that you really use, but you want to see messages coming from aligned client, maybe loyal followers, or somebody that you admire. You want to get messages like this. Yaz, this is why I messaged you earlier. I was actually looking at the slides and this is why I thought of you. So she says, you did this. Your program has given me a community of women that are in my corner. Mil gracias. And then this random message that came in. Hey, Happy New Year. You came across my mind the other day. And interesting enough, I saw this QuickBooks ad on YouTube and the lady in the commercial looked exactly like you. That was me. I was the person in the QuickBooks commercial. And then you get this, the first Latina to go to NASA, just following you out of nowhere. And then, just random messages from people. So these are the kind of things that you want to attract and you want to bring into your business and into your life. Okay, so this is why this is not happening. This is not happening because you don't believe that you have any control over the opportunities you land. So you're waiting for the opportunities to manifest before believing that they're possible. Okay, I'm going to say this again. You believe that you don't have any control over the opportunities you land. So you're waiting for the opportunities to manifest before believing that they're even possible. So what happens? You either don't try, you stay exactly where you are, and then when opportunities don't come your way, you get discouraged and you're like, okay. Or maybe you do decide, you know what, I'm going to do something. And you start to reach out to people. Maybe you start pitching yourself. You send emails, you send DMs. But if you're left on red or you never hear back, you feel really crappy about yourself and you stop taking action and then you stay where you are. So how do I know that you believe you don't have control over your opportunities or you're waiting for them to manifest before believing that they're true? You may say something like, once I get that speaking engagement, then I can call myself a speaker. Or people didn't book a call from that one post, so I'm just going to stop posting content. Or you question if you have enough experience to be on stage or to coach the person who has expressed interest. Any sign of rejection makes you shut down.
Or you say, oh, I'll just charge them half price, right? Because they're my first anyway. So it's fine. I'm just going to give them a discount and whatnot. There we go. Or you think, oh, it's a fluke, or it was given to me. I didn't create it, right? Maybe somebody introduced you to somebody else and it landed you an opportunity and you're saying, oh, yeah, it was given to me. So that doesn't count. Or maybe you just go to all the free workshops trying to find answers, but you don't actually take action. So you're just kind of hiding behind information. You're not really doing much. And this mindset doesn't work. The mindset of, I have to kind of see it to believe it, or I don't have any control over the opportunities. They just kind of happen. But this mindset doesn't work because the word manifestation means to believe in an idea and then to turn that idea into a reality. What will work is building the skill of intentionally manifesting opportunities. Life is not happening to you. Life is reacting to you because you are creating your life through the thoughts you think, how you feel, and the actions you take. I mean, we even see twins, right? Identical twins that have like 99.9% genetic identity, like genetic similarities, have completely different lives because the thoughts they think, the way they feel, and the actions they take are different. So you see them at 30, 40, 50 years old, and they're living very different lives. Manifestations are first created within you, not outside of you. You are the creator. So here are some examples. Jim Carrey, he wrote himself a check for $10 million at the height of his struggle. So I want to highlight that, right? It wasn't like he wrote himself a check once he had just signed a bunch of movie deals. No, he wrote himself a check at the height of his struggle and he dated it Thanksgiving 1995. I'm pretty sure at this moment he was living in his vehicle in Los Angeles. He was living in his car. And just before that, just before Thanksgiving of 1995, so he wrote the check for himself. I want to say it was like a year prior. He then, right before the date in which he dated the check, he discovered that he was on track to make that exact amount of money on Dumb and Dumber. How wild is that, right? So he's living in his car. He writes himself a check for $10 million. And then a year later, when the check is supposed to be cashed and due, he finds out he's making that exact amount on Dumb and Dumber. And in 2012, Zendaya tweeted that she wanted to be on the cover of 17 magazine one day. And after waiting 4 years, which is not a long time in the grand scheme of things, she made it on the cover in October of 2016, right? 4 years is actually nothing. In 2010, Demi Lovato tweeted that she'd one day sing the national anthem at a Super Bowl. And a decade later, her tweet came true because she sang the national anthem at Super Bowl 54. And this might be one of my favorites because it was documented and we kind of saw it happening. And in 2019, Lil Nas X posted a video in which he expressed his appreciation for reaching nearly 3,000 Instagram followers. So, okay, he had hit 3,000 Instagram followers and he was super grateful. So he makes this video and then he's like, thank you so much. And then he says, but let me hit y'all back a year from now. We're going to see where I'm at. And then he reacted to the video 1 year later to celebrate his 5 million Instagram followers. Currently, he's at 10.2 million followers. But, it wasn't like he said, I'm going to wait until I'm at 5 million to celebrate. He celebrated and then hit 5 million within the year. So you might be thinking, okay, Erika, this works well for celebrities, but what about the average person like myself? Well, here's examples of how I've helped my clients manifest opportunities. And this is what happens when you take on that mindset shift that I mentioned, which is building the skill. You have the power to build the skill of intentionally manifesting opportunities. So this is what happens when you believe you can create them. My client Yannette manifested a pregnancy. She simplified her business and she took time off for her maternity leave. Daniela landed 3 speaking engagements, and she has a magazine subscription where she helps children learn Spanish, and she tripled her magazine subscriptions. Ale landed her first 2 one-on-one coaching clients. She made like $10,000 in like a week. And then she had a $25,000 launch for her program. Clara went from having too many ideas for her business to manifesting an ideal opportunity as a Texas realtor instructor. And Jess landed her first paid client for self-love coaching and then held 2 in-person workshops. So yes, while the celebrities have these, crazy manifestations, well, they seem like that to us, crazy manifestations are also available to you. So this is what happens when you adopt that mindset shift, that you have control over opportunities and over landing them. You're going to go from feeling powerless to powerful. And then instead of being in freeze mode and not taking action, you will take action, but you're going to take action from a place of conviction, not from a place of, oh, I have to do this and it's dreadful, but from a place of, I have a mission to serve and I'm going to show up and do it. You will become fully booked. You'll take on the speaking gig, even if you don't feel 100% ready. You'll go on the podcast tour. You'll attract an aligned community. You'll create massive safety for yourself, knowing that you can create the life and the business results that you are looking for. So let me tell you my story with this, because you're like, okay, this girl's been talking to us for about 15 minutes. Who is she and what has she manifested? So my name is Erika. I'm a Latina coach and speaker. I am the daughter of Mexican immigrants. I left a 6-figure tech job to build a 7-figure online business, even though at the time there was no guarantee that that was going to happen. It was just like, who knows? I might have to come back to tech, but you'll learn about this in a second. I have landed many, many speaking engagements. Next week, I will be off on a plane to do a keynote for Hispanic Heritage Month, where I was paid $16,000 for that speaking engagement. And I've supported over 300 coaching clients. But this, my friends, was not always the case. In 2019, I had a goal, and my goal was to leave technology. I was working in the tech industry, and I wanted to do more meaningful work. The situation I was in is that I was actually running a food blog. It was called The Nutty Oven, like the photo that you see here. And I spent my free time waiting for this dream opportunity to land in my lap. And guess what? It never did. Okay, so in the meantime, I spent all of my hours on social media following other successful food bloggers and comparing myself and just looking at everything that they did better and why I would never get there. And the truth was, I did not believe I had control over landing opportunities. Sound familiar? That's what we were just talking about. So I was waiting for the opportunity to manifest before believing it was possible. I was like, oh yeah, once I get the brand deal, then I'll see that it's true. Once this happens, then I'll see. Eventually, I was like, no, I really do want to do this. So I started to reach out to brands and potential clients, and I started to pitch myself, but my emails never went anywhere. I never made $1 from the food blog. I definitely got a lot of free stuff. People sent me like free salsas and chips and like baked goods, and these companies that were, I think even like some yogurt companies sent me things, but yogurt isn't going to pay your bills, right? So there was no leaving the tech industry, even though that was what I wanted. So I really started to believe that I wasn't talented and that nobody cared and that leaving tech was not on the table for me. I really started to believe that I should just be grateful, until I learned the skill of intentionally manifesting opportunities. And I learned this skill by accident because a mentor gave me a book, and I thought the book was crazy, but I got to this rock bottom moment where it was the pandemic. I had just gotten my yoga teacher certification, and then the yoga studios closed because it was the pandemic. My food blog was pretty much coming to a dead end because I hadn't done anything with it. And when I really started to learn the skill of intentionally manifesting opportunities, that is when everything changed. I ended up, this is a little out of order, but I ended up on the front page of the New York Times for quitting my tech job during what was known as the Great Resignation. Here I am on the front page of the Sunday Business edition. It also was printed, so I have it framed back here behind me. And this is my business bestie, Kat. We both started our businesses around the same time. Community is very important. I ended up launching a podcast a few years ago, and it took off and had a lot of success at the beginning. This happened right, I hadn't even left, no, I had just left the tech industry. And I didn't even have a podcast yet. And TikTok hired me to interview Luis Fonsi for Hispanic Heritage Month. Oh my goodness, this is oh no, this is October 15th. Just kidding. It's September 15th. I was like, oh wow, it's exactly 5 years ago. Nope, almost 5 years ago, next month. And then Harvard reached out to me and they were like, hey, we want you to come and lead meditations for our first gen group. I did not have a meditation certification, but that's what they hired me for. And then Telemundo invited me onto the news about 3 times for Women's History Month, as well as for Hispanic Heritage Month and for New Year's. They wanted me to talk about New Year's resolutions. But most importantly, even though all that looks amazing, and it is, and I'm very grateful for it, but most importantly, I'm doing meaningful work. I'm no longer at a tech job that feels like it's my soul is dying. I am doing what I absolutely love every single day. I mean, like, look at the presentation I'm giving you all right now. It's about manifesting as an entrepreneur. So I'm very grateful. And this skill of learning how to intentionally manifest opportunities is what has helped me, and it's also what has helped my clients get results. So let's get into how learning the skill of intentionally manifesting opportunities will change your life. I'm going to teach you the 3 strategies. So here are the 3 strategies that I call the magnetic CEO method to help you manifest opportunities into your life. Okay, here are the 3 strategies. The first one, which Lewis Howes actually mentioned at the Summit of Greatness, because I was just there this weekend for the event, and he was actually talking about manifestation, and he had the same one as his first strategy. And I was like, or did you look at my slides? Like, what in the world? How did we both end up with the same exact strategy? So the first strategy is you must have a clear mission. What do I mean by this? It is a clear and purposeful statement of about how it is that you're going to make the world a better place, what it is that you aim to achieve, and why you're doing it. And the thing is that it's going to reflect your deepest values, your passions, and your goals. But this is pretty much like the what and the why. Like, why do you want to do the thing that you want to do? Why do you want to manifest the thing you want to manifest? This is why it works. It works because the highest level of motivation is mission-driven motivation. You are less likely to give up. Brendan Burchard at the Summit of Greatness, he's like the leading high performance coach. He also talked about how having a mission around your drive is the biggest motivation. He's the guy who wrote the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. I think that's the name of the book. And it's like, I forgot how much he said to work with him. I think like $85,000 a month to work with him. Crazy, crazy. Anyway, so he was talking about how he was delaying writing this book of his. And it wasn't until he was going into bankruptcy and his girlfriend at the time, now his wife, went to go to bed and got in the bed and he had all of his bills on the bed. And he was like, all my bills were covering like the love of my life. And he was like, that was the moment. That was his motivation about not only showing up for his future wife, but also giving his gift to the world. So mission-driven motivation is the best and highest level of motivation. It's also the best way to get over your imposter syndrome or self-doubt. You're less likely to give up when you have a bigger mission, when you have a clear purpose, when you know that, for me, for example, I didn't want to leave tech to go make money. No, for me, I was like, I'm okay if I make less money. I just don't want to be here anymore. I want to do something meaningful with my life. I want to give back to my community. I want to support others. And also, having a clear mission gives you a North Star to follow. Whenever you're going to make a decision, whenever you're trying to figure out what to do next, you always run it through your mission. And if it aligns, you go for it. It makes decision making so much easier because you know the purpose behind what you're doing, you know your why. My client Jen, she is a career and money coach who was paralyzed about showing up on LinkedIn because all of her old coworkers were there. But to add on to it, she was a recruiter. So you can imagine how many connections she had on LinkedIn. That was where she spent most of her time. And then she started her business and she's like, this is so vulnerable. I'm really scared to do this. So during this time, she wasn't building her audience. She wasn't landing clients. She was not growing her confidence. But each month that she didn't take action, she had missed income, visibility, and missed influence. She really just felt stuck in self-doubt, and she was watching others move forward and do things while her business pretty much stayed on hold. After Jen implemented a clear mission, she recentered on this mission. She was then helping, she knew that her mission was to help women build generational wealth through leveraging their careers, because it was exactly what she did. She gained the clarity and the confidence she needed to stop overthinking and start posting on LinkedIn. And then she landed her first high ticket client within weeks. Not just that, right after that, she booked 3 additional sales inquiries within that week of landing that one client. And then she was no longer worried about about judgment from her former coworkers, because she was living her mission. And obviously, it was working. She also went viral for sharing her story and inspired countless women with her free LinkedIn content. This was actually her first post after we came up with her clear mission. And when she went viral, that's when she got the client. Not that you have to go viral. Disclaimer. All right. So, yeah, she went viral, sharing her story, inspired countless women with her free LinkedIn content. And now I just checked as of yesterday, and Jen has 3,798 followers. Now she has moved to Colombia, which is where her mom is from, with her husband and her daughter, and she is thriving. She's thriving, and she's living her mission and her purpose 1,000%. So this is my mission framework. It's not like I'm just saying, declare your why. I actually have a strategy around how to find your mission. So what happens when you implement a clear mission? Remember, this is only strategy number 1. You're going to go from focusing on your insecurities to anchoring into a bigger purpose that makes the world a better place. You're going to go from worrying about other people's opinions to showing up boldly, excited to reach as many people as possible. You're going to go from feeling sleazy, promoting yourself, or very just kind of embarrassed of like being seen, to knowing that you're making an impact and feeling proud to share your work, knowing that when you show up and live your mission, you're also helping other people. You're going to go from giving up whenever obstacles arise, because they will. It's not about if obstacles will arise, right? It's about when obstacles arise, to building grit, resilience, and then becoming unstoppable. All right, strategy number 2 is mental rehearsal. So this is the act of pretty much visualization. So the act of mental rehearsal is using your mind to imagine your desired future. And the reason it works is because mental rehearsal taps into the brain's natural ability to create mental images, which create new neural connections in your brain and allow you to become kind of familiar with the new thing that you're looking to create. And the brain loves familiarity. It doesn't like things that are unfamiliar. So this then influences your actions, your beliefs, and your outcomes. And the thing is that the brain actually does not know the difference between something that's vividly imagined and something that's actually happening. It's why whenever we're recounting a story about how somebody upset us, we literally get upset again. Or why when we're telling a sad story, we can cry sometimes. Or why when we're talking about how excited we are, like when I was telling people about the New York Times feature, I was so excited. And every time I talked about it, it would excite me again. And I would feel it in my body, and I would feel like it was happening all over again. So the thing is that when you mentally rehearse your success, you are rewiring your brain to be ready for success. A survey of Olympic athletes revealed that over 90% use some form of visualization techniques. That's a lot. So here's the neuroscience behind mental rehearsal. So I already told you about how the connections happen, right? It's called Hebb's law. Nerve cells that fire together wire together. In other words, neuroplasticity, so the brain can change. And we already have a lot of connections in the brain, but when we allow ourselves to mentally rehearse, we can make new connections in the brain. It's how you can go from being a smoker to a non-smoker, or how you can go from having one specific habit and then changing it. But there's also another neuroscience principle around this, and that's the one I want to talk about today, and that is the reticular activation system. So the RAS. The RAS is the part of your brain that filters information and tells us what to focus on, because there's so much going on in the world all the time. And let's say that you and a friend walk into a store together, and your friend does construction and you do makeup. You're both going to see completely different things. Maybe your friend's going to look at the makeup of the structure of the building, right? And you're going to go straight to the makeup shelf. And that's an example of how our reticular activation system works. And when we allow ourselves to visualize what we want to manifest, we are programming the RAS system, which is pretty much like the filter. We're programming the filter to spot opportunities, resources, and solutions that can bring you closer to your goal. So this makes your brain more attuned to what's important, helping you also take aligned action. This is the part of the brain that's also responsible for, if you've ever been in a situation where you have a problem and then there's a solution and the solution was there the whole time, you simply didn't see it. That's the reticular activation system at play. So when you allow yourself to mentally rehearse your success, you're becoming familiar with it and you're training your brain to spot more of that, more possibilities for that success. That's about as sciencey as we're getting. Don't worry. Now let's talk about the like before and afters. So with mental rehearsal, you're going to go from doubting if you're ready for opportunities, you're not really sure if you can actually take on new opportunities, to feeling prepared, confident, and willing to step forward. You're going to go from being really scared of change or of uncertainty and then staying maybe in the same place for months, to rewiring your brain to trust the process to move towards growth. You're also going to go from maybe lacking clarity and then wasting time spinning your wheels, delaying action, to seeing a clear vision and knowing what the exact steps are that you need to take. You're going to go from maybe being in hustle mode to feeling anxious.
I've been getting so many DMs and emails asking me about this, and it is finally back. Magnetic Mastermind is officially open for enrollment. If you are an entrepreneur or a creator who is ready to attract opportunities instead of chasing them, then this is your chance to step into the mastermind designed to help you do exactly that. Magnetic Mastermind is my 6-month spiritual business mastermind where women entrepreneurs and creators learn how to manifest 7 dream opportunities in 6 months. You're going to do this without pitching, grinding, or burning out. And the results speak for themselves. One client brought in $150,000 in sales in just 4 months and had a $70,000 week. Another client manifested a pregnancy while setting her business up for maternity leave. So she manifested the pregnancy and then we worked on setting her business up for maternity leave so she was able to take time off and be with her baby. One client doubled her follower count, another one landed 13 speaking engagements, and another one landed 11 sales calls. This program works because it combines manifestation, neuroscience, and strategy. So you are going to clarify your mission, reprogram your limiting beliefs, practice mental rehearsal, as well as create a manifestation marketing plan so that you can attract clients, collaborations, press, and opportunities that align to your purpose. But here's the thing. The doors are closing on Wednesday, September 24th. So if you are ready to stop hustling and start attracting, book a call with me today. On this consult call, we're just going to make sure that this program is the right fit for you. But hurry because the doors do close on Wednesday, September 24th. So secure your spot inside of this round of Magnetic Mastermind. The link to book your call is down below in the show notes. Do not wait. Your next 7 dream opportunities are waiting for you. And not just that, learning the skill of manifestation and intentionally manifesting is going to change your life and your business. I can't wait to work with you.
And then working harder without better results. So yeah, maybe you're taking the action, but it's coming from a hustly place, from an anxious place. And whenever you practice mental rehearsal, you actually will go to feeling really at ease and taking aligned action and intentional action, which will attract opportunities to you naturally. So I'm pretty sure this person's on the call right now. Hi, Rebecca. Here you are again. I love your case study for this, so I have to keep using it. But before Rebecca practiced mental rehearsal or visualization, she wanted her business to grow, but she was also feeling really overwhelmed by the current clients that she had. She was also at the time undercharging for her services, which obviously leaving money on the table. And she was sitting on a new business idea, but didn't have the clarity or the momentum. So it just kind of led to some delays. And then there was inaction. So stalled income growth, burnout risk, and then missed expansion opportunities. I want to say a month, like not even within a full month of practicing this strategy, Rebecca was using mental rehearsal to visualize her next level in business and opportunity. She also, like, it was wild. It was wild. She literally rewired her brain to believe that bigger opportunities were possible and safe. And the result was $200,000 in business within 5 months, including a $70,000 week. She also solidified her second business idea and began building it with her partners, which now I can share because it's live. It's called Salty Bitches, and it is a gourmet salt subscription company. And Rebecca, if you'd like to put the link in the chat so that way we can support, that would be amazing. And then she also was recognized publicly. She ended up winning the National Latina Business Association Community Minded Contributor Award in 2024. She went from feeling stuck in undercharging to scaling, visible, and celebrated. Like, so much so, I want to say, like, some of her existing clients were even coming back to her and they're like, hey, we have this extra budget. Like, what can you do with this? How amazing. All right. So with visualization, it's not just wishful thinking. It really is a skill, or with mental rehearsal. So I guide you through my visualization frameworks with even more of the sciencey stuff than what I just went through right now. Energy work and journaling prompts so that you're not just daydreaming, you're actually rewiring your brain for success. And this is why individuals like Rebecca went from feeling overwhelmed to landing $200,000 in business in just 5 months. So when you implement mental rehearsal, you'll go from feeling overwhelmed to moving forward with calm, focus, and ease. You'll go from lacking clarity to having a clear vision and knowing exactly what the next steps are. You'll go from seeing only obstacles to rewiring your brain to spot opportunities and solutions. And then you're going to go from fearing the unknown to trusting that anything is possible and available to you. Strategy number 3. So there's a misconception that manifestation is just kind of like wishful thinking and, you don't have to ever do anything. And while a lot of the effort is focused on ensuring that you have a clear mission, ensuring that you believe in yourself, all of these things are very important. But if you are a creator or an entrepreneur or an aspiring one, then you do need to take a certain form of action. And that is what I call build influence using the manifestation marketing plan. So, what this is you create compelling content that establishes you as a thought leader. You are visible, you are loud, and you are consistent. And your message always connects to your mission, right? Which is strategy number 1. So, if your mission is to empower millennials with financial literacy, then your manifestation marketing plan must serve that. If your mission is to make the world a better place through meditation, your manifestation marketing plan should go back to that. If your mission is to spread awareness about domestic violence, then your content and your manifestation marketing plan should connect to that. So, why in the world does this work? Rather than waiting for an opportunity to come to you, you actually get to decide what you are known for. The other thing is, it is 2025. Like 20 something years ago, the only way of really getting some type of publicity is through being, featured on the newspaper or a magazine, but it's 2025 and now we can be our own PR agents through impactful content. You get to decide what you are known for. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, when I post more about me being a speaker, I land more speaking engagements. When I post more fun content, I land more brand deals. When I post more about my coaching services, I land more coaching clients. I've seen how the shifts and how I show up change what it is that I attract because I'm already embodying that version, right? And you get to do this with the way that you show up. When people see your content, they know what it is that you stand for and will approach you for podcasts, for speaking engagement, for collaborations, and for coaching. So this manifestation marketing plan allows you to build influence, which allows you to bring opportunities to you. And then the other thing is you establish credibility and trust. And I mean, just think about Harvard, right? Harvard reached out to me. I didn't have a mindfulness certification. I was just talking about mindfulness and how helpful it was to me. And they ended up hiring me for that opportunity. So before building influence, you are waiting for a reason to show up and you don't know what to say or to post. And then you feel bad that opportunities aren't coming your way, but you also know that without action, you won't get results. So you're almost like kind of beating yourself up and feeling bad. But after, when you show up with conviction and purpose, because remember, your content on your manifestation marketing plan must be aligned to your mission. And content can be anything. It could be videos, emails, it could be a book if you're writing a book, any type of content. And then you build, so whenever you show up with conviction and purpose, you build trust with your audience and opportunities come your way because people know you for your mission, right? So you know what it is that you want to post and how to post it. And then it feels fun and easy because there's a purpose behind it. So here is my client, Diana. Diana, before building influence and using the manifestation marketing plan, she was not sure what to post. She was pitching herself to nonprofits and had no response, no high ticket clients. She was wishing that she could leave her 9 to 5, didn't feel like it was possible. And then she was waiting for opportunities to come to her. But after building influence, she had 9 sales inquiries within, I don't know, like a couple months, I think. She was on 2 podcasts. She was invited to speak on 2 podcasts. She then even had a news article written about her work at her 9 to 5. And she did all of this with under 500 followers. So sometimes people think, oh yeah, I need a lot of followers in order to do this. That's not true. You don't need a lot of followers. You just need to build influence and do it through something like the manifestation marketing plan. So when you implement building influence, you're going to go from waiting around and hoping for opportunities to opening your inbox and finding invitations, collaborations, and client requests waiting for you. You're going to go from cold DMing and chasing business to receiving unexpected invites because people already see your value because you're already showing up as that person. You're going to go from being invisible in your industry to being recognized as a thought leader, specifically around your mission. You'll go from feeling overwhelmed and inconsistent from inconsistent with content to knowing exactly what to post. So maybe like, oh, I don't know what to post. Oh man, I'm not going to post anything this week, or I don't even know what to say, to knowing exactly what to post and then doing it with ease and with confidence because you're so clear on your mission. You're going to go from struggling to make money to creating consistent income and meaningful impact. Because when you build influence the right way, opportunities come to you. So that was the third strategy. So when you implement these 3 strategies, again, they were, I think I have a recap slide. Whenever you implement these strategies, you will manifest opportunities with ease. So here's the recap. You want to manifest opportunities. This is clients, speaking gigs, sales, interviews, features, collaborations. What's stopping you is that you have a hard time believing this is possible. So what you think is that you have to wait for the opportunities to happen, and then you have evidence that they can occur. You don't believe you have control over manifesting opportunities. But the actual solution is to create the opportunities. And the way you're going to do that is by learning the skill of manifesting. And then once you have this mindset shift with like, yes, I'm able to manifest opportunities and I can do it intentionally, the way you're going to do it, the how is through having a clear mission, knowing what you want and why you want it. You're going to practice with mental rehearsal so that you can become familiar with the success you're looking to bring in. And you are going to do this through building influence through the magnetic manifestation marketing plan. That's our little summary. So as I told you all at the beginning, I'm going to let you know whenever we finish with the training portion. So that is it for the training portion. And now I'm going to move on to how you can implement these 3 strategies. So the best way to learn to manifest opportunities is by joining Magnetic Mastermind. So in this mastermind, I not only cover these strategies, but two more key concepts that are required. Those are kind of the main ones, right? But even these main strategies have little sub steps in them. So Magnetic Mastermind is a spiritual business mastermind for entrepreneurs and creators. And inside of the mastermind, the result you get is that you will manifest 7 dream opportunities in 6 months by using the magnetic method. I want to say a couple of rounds ago, we were 4 months into the program, and on average, the women in the program had manifested 11 opportunities on average already, and we were only 4 months in. So I'm being a little conservative here, but we're really just trying to get you your dream opportunities. So let me tell you more about Magnetic Mastermind. Magnetic Mastermind is for you if you are a spiritually curious entrepreneur or creator, you are purpose driven. So you know that you do want to make money, but you also want to make impact. If this webinar resonated with you and you want to implement the 3 strategies that I mentioned with me by your side, maybe you're overwhelmed trying to hustle your way to success and you're ready to master the skill of manifesting. Or you've always known that you were meant to land these amazing opportunities or be booked out, but you're not really sure how it's going to happen. So you know you have the potential, you know that that's an opportunity for you, but you're not sure exactly how to do it. So what's in Magnetic Mastermind? Here's the 5-step magnetic method framework. The first one is declare your mission, which you just learned a little bit about. Declare your mission is all about getting crystal clear on your purpose and the exact opportunities that you want to manifest. I'm going to teach you how to find a mission that aligns with you. And then, unlike other masterminds, not that we're not bashing any other masterminds, right? But it's a requirement for you to be doing meaningful work. It has to be purpose driven, is the point. Step 2 is visualizing your manifestations using neuroscience. So using scientifically backed visualization techniques to reprogram your brain for success. We also do something called the abundance activation, which is a month-long visualization challenge you'll do with the group. It's actually way easier to manifest with the group than on your own. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. But this allows you to then rewire your brain for success. So you'll be able to visualize the steps that you need to reach your manifestation. Step number 3 is embodying and expressing your future self. So we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are and what we believe we are worthy of. So stepping into the identity of the person that already has what you desire and then show up visibly as her through your content, collaborations, and aligned action is going to make the world of a difference. Step 4 is helping you build influence. We're doing this through creating your manifestation marketing plan. So you're going to learn how to build your own influence as well as create magnetic content that attracts the opportunities to you. This step helps you create meaningful content, converting content in an easy way. And then last but not least, it's also about troubleshooting your manifestations. They don't happen right away, but it's not usually a time thing. It's usually an alignment thing. So people think they need more time. They actually need more alignment. And this is where troubleshooting comes in. So what we do here is we identify and remove the blocks that are preventing you from receiving the opportunities that you're looking to manifest. We also cover the common manifestation mistakes and how to avoid them. And this step also helps you understand maybe in the past why something worked really well or maybe why it didn't. So what we're doing is we're really analyzing past manifestations or fails to manifest and learning from that to implement it into your manifestations now. So what do you get in the mastermind? You get 6 months of weekly live coaching. You get Slack support. You get a kickoff call on October 7th at 12 o'clock Pacific time. From 12 to 3, actually, it's a 3-hour call. Then you get the updated 5-step magnetic method curriculum. You also get content reviews. So a big thing is that individuals want to make sure their content will convert. So we've implemented content reviews. And the investment for this program is $5,555 or 5 payments of $1,111, which for a mastermind is, in my opinion, quite the steal. So what I'm inviting you to do is I'm inviting you to schedule a call with me to see if it's a good fit. And my team will share the link in the chat shortly. or you can just go to theerikacruz.com Magnetic Mastermind. What we do on this call is I understand your current situation so that we can see if this is a good program for you. And if I do think it's a good program for you, I'll let you know how I think it can support you. And let me share some more client results. So you already know Rebecca, who's also here. So she's the founder of a purpose-driven marketing agency. And here we can see what her wins were. Diana, who's a bookkeeper and accountant for first-gen entrepreneurs. She said, I booked my first $6,000 client and had 9 sales inquiries, 2 podcast invites, and a news article written about my 9-to-5 job. So again, what you get is 6 months of weekly coaching. You also get chat support in between calls. So you are never really left kind of on your own. We are always, or me, I'm the only coach in it. So I am there to support you every step of the way. And then you also get a kickoff call, again, October 7th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. The curriculum, the content reviews, and then here's the investment one more time. Here's Ale. She's a digital marketing educator, and she landed her first 2 one-on-one clients, had a $25,000 launch and a $7,000 day on Black Friday because she did a quick little enrollment for that. And then Daniela, who's the founder of Explora Magazine, she landed 3 speaking engagements, tripled her magazine subscriptions from the previous year. So let's say all of 2024, she had a certain amount of magazine subscriptions. Within the first 3 months of 2025, she tripled her subscriptions. And she also secured her biggest deal with a school that teaches kids Spanish as well. So the biggest struggle for past clients has been to easily create content. And that's why we added content reviews as well as updated manifestation marketing plan. And also, there's a 48-hour bonus. So with this 48-hour bonus, you get a 4-hour virtual content day with me. And on this call, I'm going to help you create a system for easy, for fun, and for magnetic content creation. So on this call, it can either be us literally helping you record content, or it can be coming up with a system that's going to be really easy and aligned with your mission so that content becomes really easy for you. We can also go over any content blocks that you have if there's a fear of being visible. I'll support you with that as well. And then we will build your manifestation marketing plan. I have sold VIP days on their own at over $2,500. So this bonus on its own is a great incentive to join the program. So again, I invite you to book your call by going to theerikacruz.com/magnetic mastermind. That link is also for you inside of the chat. And again, the investment is $5,555 if paid in full, or 5 payments of $1,111. I also have a bunch of frequently asked questions that I've been getting from people. So I will get to those in just one moment. But if you have any questions, for those of you who are here, I'm just taking a quick look. So Brenda, if you have questions, Evie, Yaz, Jocelyn. Hi, Jocelyn. So good to see you. Julia, let me know if you have questions. Liliana, Lourdes, Madeline, Rebecca, and either Yesenia or Jesenia, you can put them in the chat if you'd like, or you can unmute. Here are some more client results. This is Gia. She is a licensed esthetician, and she overcame a layoff. So she ended up going all in on her business, and now she's hosting skincare workshops. She actually just sent me a message, and I ended up sponsoring one of her students who was going to take one of her workshops. So she was like, hey, do you want to sponsor someone? So she's killing it. If you are local in the Bay Area, let me know. I recommend her as an esthetician. And then there's also Janet, who is a self-mastery coach, and she manifested a pregnancy while in the program and simplified her 6-figure business so that she could take time off for maternity leave. Clara, who is a real estate broker and a mompreneur and influencer, she said, I'm already more successful both on a personal and business level because of Magnetic Mastermind. I'm now a Texas realtor instructor, have closed a listing and closed a lease. And then Daisy here said, I came to the mastermind with the goal of landing an out-of-state speaking engagement, and I have landed 5 out of the country speaking engagements in my motherland, and I've secured over 12 speaking opportunities. So Daisy is a poet and author, and she's absolutely crushing it. All right. So what can the first 30 days of Magnetic Mastermind look like for you? So you will go from lacking clarity to knowing exactly what to do. You'll go from doubting yourself to having such a strong mission that even if you doubt yourself, you're still going to show up. You're going to go from overthinking your content to posting with confidence. And then you're going to go from being worried about what your distant family or coworkers might think about you to having a solid support system that you don't even think about those people. You're going to go from waiting for opportunities to receiving invites for amazing opportunities. And then we've got Jen, who gained the courage to post on LinkedIn and landed her first high ticket client. So, one of the questions I get, and Evie, I know you and I already have a sales call booked, which is awesome. Yes, I will answer that question about Courage Driven Latina or Magnetic Mastermind. So, the differentiation, because Courage Driven Latina, which is my other program for those of you who may not know, it also has a manifestation workshop in it, which is really focused on Courage Driven Latina. So, Courage Driven Latina is for you if you have not started or you don't know what you want to do yet. Magnetic Mastermind is for you if you have already started, you either are posting content consistently already, or you already have clients. That's where, and if you're not sure, I would suggest scheduling a call, and then I can support you with figuring out which one's the best. So, can I just manifest on my own? You definitely can, of course. The issue with manifesting on your own is that anytime something's not going your way, it can be really easy to want to give up on it and no longer strive towards that thing that you're looking to manifest. When you are with a group who's holding you accountable, and there's actually neuroscience principles that share that manifesting with the group is actually really helpful as well. Hold on. Hi, Yaz. Thanks for joining us. I'm on the Q&A portion, but we are going to send out the recording so you can watch it from the beginning as well.
Okay, great. Hi,
Yes.
everybody.
Hi.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So, yes, you can manifest on your own, but the thing I've seen happen with people when they begin to do it on their own is that they can hit a bump and then give up, or they don't have a structure to follow. So they're just kind of going off of things that they see on social media, maybe like Googling, but there's no step-by-step process like there is with the magnetic CEO method. I think this program is too advanced for me. Should I still schedule a call? This is similar to the question that came from Jasenia. And I would say schedule the call, and then we can figure out if Courage Driven Latina or Magnetic Mastermind is a better fit for you. Both of them have manifestation principles. They're just a little different. One of them is this one here is supporting you with once you don't have a problem taking action anymore. This is something you're already doing. You don't want to go into hustly. You want to go into attracting opportunities. That's what this program is for. I want to join, but I'm already in another program. So I get this a lot, actually. So I'm in a few programs myself, and I give each program a job. But this program, the result of it is to help you manifest opportunities. So I'm in a business program, and then I'm in a speaker program. So for speakers. And I go to my speaker program when I have questions about speaking, and then I go to my business one when I have questions about business. So I would ask you the question of, would manifesting more opportunities support you in your life and your business regardless? And if so, then it should not be a problem. I've already made money and landed opportunities. Is this still a good fit for me? Definitely. If you've already made money or landed opportunities, you're only going to like triple them. So again, what you get is 6 months of weekly live coaching. You get Slack support. You get a kickoff call on October 7th. You get the 5-step magnetic method curriculum as well as content reviews. And the investment for this program is $5,555 or 5 payments of $1,111. So book your call. We can, again, no commitment call. It's just about seeing if this is a good fit for you. And if we find that the other program might be a better fit for you, then we will put you in the other program instead. So go to Magnetic Mastermind. You'll also learn a little bit more about the program. And then I want to remind you about the 48-hour bonus, because this virtual content day with me can be a game changer. Like if creating content is something that's difficult for you, but you know that you want to create content, you are maybe an entrepreneur and you know content creation is important, this alone is enough of a reason to join the program. How is it that you can justify this to your partner and your husband? Well, the I have like a whole email written about this. First, it's about asking for support, right? Sometimes like partners will invest in things that we may not understand, but asking for support and knowing that this is going to support you in your content creation or in your entrepreneurship journey. But also, this is a business write-off. So if you already have an LLC, or if you are a business owner, or if you're looking to create an LLC, or even just on your personal taxes, this is actually an educational write-off, just like taking a class at university would be. This is a form of a business expense, if you will. And then the other question I get is this a course? Is this live coaching, or how do we get support? So you do get pre-recorded videos, but it's mostly live. So I'll do trainings, I'll teach you live. It's not like we're going to put you in a little portal and you're just like, good luck. There's actually a lot of involvement and engagement. What if I already create consistent content? Perfect. Join, because a little tweak using the manifestation marketing plan can totally transform the opportunities that you attract. This is like one of my favorite questions. What makes this program spiritual? What makes this program spiritual is like, it's not religious. It's more about business energetics, right? We all know energy is real. When somebody walks into a room, their energy can be felt, their being can be felt. And business is a very energetic practice as well. So either business or content creation. So what makes this program spiritual is it's pretty much business energetics. That's exactly how I would describe it, because you do not have to be a part of a certain religion. We're learning manifestation principles with neuroscience. This isn't like, obviously, if you have a specific practice like prayer, bring it in. But what makes the program spiritual is that we're learning laws of the universe to allow you to show up for your business in a different way. We're using things like neuroplasticity. We're using all of these different sciences, but also spiritual practices that have proven over and over to be successful in business. And then why join this round? Like, why is it important that you join this round of Magnetic Mastermind? Well, this is actually the first time I opened the doors for this program in about over a year. So this program doesn't go live all the time. And we also have the new magnetic method curriculum, which will get you results in 30 days. The other thing is that the decisions that you make today are going to dictate your 2026 results. There's also updated curriculum. There's also the limited time bonus, the 48-hour bonus that expires on Wednesday because it's Monday. And that's the virtual content day with me. And then why would you wait, right? Why delay your growth, especially for a program that doesn't come around as often as other programs? Because I'm very intentional about the space and what it is that I create here. So book your call for Magnetic Mastermind by going to the Erika Cruz /Magnetic Mastermind. We'll stick that link back in the chat for you. And then I'm on to answer any questions. Again, what you get is 6 months of weekly live coaching, Slack support, the kickoff call, all those things. And now it is the Q&A time.
I have
Oh,
a question if there's no other like questions right now.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, hi. So sorry I missed like the whole thing, but I'd love to like if it hasn't been answered already, I'm curious to know about the time commitment for this. So I know you said it's 6 months, and do you meet
Yeah,
like weekly, you said? Like
weekly.
calls, are they like group calls? And
Yeah.
then what is the time commitment like outside of those weekly group calls?
Yeah, great question. So the group calls are every Tuesday. For you, it would be 2 to 3 p.m. because it's 12 to 1 in California time. And then the time commitment, I would say you probably need an hour a week for the calls, and then for implementing the things that the magnetic method, your content would take as long as I mean, we'd try to find an easy way for your content would be the first thing, but you probably need another like hour to 2 hours a week additionally from the call. So I would say 3 hours total.
And then with the actual like the live calls, is it kind of like open like coaching, kind of like how Courage Driven Latina is, or is there a set curriculum for those calls?
Both. I already have a set curriculum for this program, but I'm redoing it. So anything that I don't have time to fully re-record, then I'll be teaching the first part of the call and then open coaching.
Okay. I
And there
see.
may be pop-up trainings depending on like what's coming up. Like I have this concept in the program called the vibe check, where you get to check your like frequency, like where's your vibe at right now? Because that determines a lot, right? We create from our vibe and from our energy. So it's a scale that allows you to see, okay, like what's the quality of the thoughts you're thinking, the actions you're taking, and the thoughts you're thinking. And then from that, you come up with a vibe scale. So, like, one of the things I can see myself doing is like maybe doing a training on how to raise your vibe. So, because one of the tools is already the vibe scale, I could see a pop-up training on like, okay, or maybe like, I don't know, the first 10 minutes, like, here's how to shift your focus to raise your vibe, for example.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Um, thanks. I think those are my main questions.
Okay, well, we will send the recording out tonight,
All right.
but if you are interested, I would suggest maybe booking a call because if you book the call within the 48 hours, you get the bonus.
Okay. Oh, and then okay, also, you might have covered this, but what have been some of the, I know you said you hadn't done this since like a year and a half ago.
A year.
Um, a
I
year
have an
ago?
open enrollment.
You had an open room in a year. What were some of the, I guess, like outcomes or yeah, like outcomes that people have experienced before or that like that yeah, that you have seen?
Hmm. Yeah. Let me go back. Here are some of the things that people manifested in this program because I've had a few rounds of it. I just haven't opened the doors for it. So we ended the last one in June, I want to say. So the program's been going on. I just had an open enrollment because I wanted to revise the step-by-step framework. So Janet manifested a pregnancy. It was desired. It was what she wanted. And then we shifted her business and made it really simple so that she could take time off for maternity leave. And then I had somebody named Daniela who landed 3 speaking engagements. She had never done a speaking engagement before. And then she ended up tripling her magazine subscription. So she's the founder of a magazine that helps kids learn Spanish. And then she also landed like an opportunity with a school because the school bought a bunch of her magazines and it was like the biggest deal she had. And then my former client Ale landed her first 2 one-on-one coaching clients. She made like $10,000 in like 2 days and then had a $25,000 launch. Clara went from having a ton of ideas for her business and then like not knowing which direction to take her business she ended up manifesting a job teaching because she was a real estate broker and she ended up teaching as a Texas realtor instructor. And then Jess landed her first paid client for self-love coaching and then held 2 in-person workshops. And then these other girls, you know them because you know Rebecca. So Rebecca did $200,000 in new business within 5 months and then had a $70,000 week. She got this national award. And as you know about Salty Bitches already. And then Diana got 9 sales inquiries, 2 podcast interviews, a news article written about her work, and she did it all with under 500 followers. And then some of these might be repetitive over here. Yeah, Daisy. I'll tell you about Daisy. Here she is. So Daisy said, I came to the mastermind with the goal of landing an out-of-state speaking engagement and have landed 5 out-of-the-country speaking engagements in my motherland of Mexico and secured over 12 speaking opportunities. So she's a poet and an author. So that was kind of like her main goal. Her opportunities were speaking.
Nice. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Love that. And then when does the program start?
October 7th is the kickoff call.
Oh, okay. So it goes from October 7th, 6 months, right?
Yeah, so it'd go from October 7th all the way through, I think April 17th or 14th or something like that.
Mhm. Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for tuning in for this training of the Magnetic CEO method. If this webinar resonated with you, I invite you to join me inside of Magnetic Mastermind. The doors close on Wednesday, the 23rd of September, so do not wait. Schedule your call today. On this call, I will understand what it is that you're looking for, and I'll let you know if I think the program is a good fit for you. If I do think it's a good fit for you, I'll create a plan that we are going to work on together during the duration of the program. Do not wait, do not delay your growth. And if you know a friend that you think would benefit from this, be sure to send this episode to them. I can't wait to talk to you, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Make sure to visit theerikacruz.com. That's Erika with a K, where you can subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode. You can help this podcast grow by supporting me with an Apple Podcast rate and review. If you took anything away from this episode, I invite you to take a screenshot and share it on social media so that your favorite badass Latinas can also check it out. Be sure to tag me at the Erika Cruz. That's Erika with a K, because you know I want to see it. If you're ready to join the revolution and be a part of the Courage Driven Latina community, visit couragedrivenlatina.com to get more information and join the waitlist. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.